Hey, I'm Rob for JestaThaRogue.com. I'm going to show you how to play Golden Cup. This is a game for 1 to 6 players, plays at about 60 minutes, is designed by Gabriele Bobola and Simone Luciani and is published by Cranio Creations. You control a fantasy sports team, manage the finances to scout and recruit new players, as well as train your team to defeat your opponents over 6 games to make it to the final match. And the winner of the final match will win the Golden Cup. And you can be a winner right now by hitting subscribe for more how to play videos like this one. In this video I'll go through how to play the game, then I'll go through how to add the bot player if you're playing with an odd number of players, then I'll go through how to play the game solo. On to setup. Take the match tiles for the player count shown on the back of each tile and give 1 to each player. The tile will show which of the 3 fields you will play each round on. This tile will play the same field every match, so depending on your setup, this should be given to a player who will find it useful. Put out all the field boards. Purple for 1 to 2 player games, add orange for 3 and 4 player games, and add blue for 5 and 6 player games. The colours of the fields are on the symbols on the match tiles used for the game, as shown here for a 4 player game. Only purple and orange will be used. Put the relevant colour bag and 4 break tokens near the matching coloured field. Put the championship board near the table and the round token on round 1. Pile up the fame and sponsor tokens along with the dice on the table. Shuffle the bronze, silver and gold champion cards into 3 piles. Each player draws 3 cards from the bronze champion deck. Each player also gets a team board, a stadium tile, a scout tile and a set of tokens of the same colour. Place the stadium tile on its space on the team board with the bronze square showing the 4 money bag face up. Place the scout tile on its space showing the bronze card icon and the trophy with a 3 on it face up. Put the match tile on its space in the bottom right of the team board. Put the finance cube on the bronze number 4 space. Add a -1 defense plus a 2 and a 4 attack chip as shown on the board into that space of the team board. Keep the rest off to the side as a supply. Players also gain 5 fame tokens and a summary card. Shuffle the supporter cards. Deal 2 to each player. They choose 1 and keep it face down. Return any unused supporter cards to the box. A game is played in 6 rounds, each of 3 phases. Round setup, purchase campaign and matches. Round setup is skipped to the first round, so we'll circle back to that after we've looked at the other 2 phases. So let's start with phase 2, purchase campaign. Players calculate their available coins from stadium tiles, champions and sponsor tokens. In round 1 this will be 4 as shown on your stadium tile. I'll get into champion abilities shortly, but as some of them affect your income I want to look at those ones now. For example, Vampirello has a permanent ability that gives you a +1 income each round as shown with this symbol on the bottom of the card. They also have the instant ability that gives you 2 -1 sponsor tokens. These are added to the board and will reduce or increase your income by the amount shown in this next round only. Once the income has been worked out, place the finance cube in the correct space and then players discard all sponsor tokens they have. Players now simultaneously spend coins to take actions as shown on their summary card. Spend 1 to scout new champions. Discard any number of cards from your hand, draw up to 3 cards from the relevant deck which will match the colour card shown on your scout tile, which starts as bronze. Spend 3 to play a champion into a slot on your team board. Play a champion from your hand into any slot, they can be rearranged later. Now we can look at some of the different champion abilities. Let's go back to Vampirello. A lightning bolt is an immediate effect when played, and not only will you gain the 2 -1 sponsor tokens, you will also gain a 1 attack token, move 1 from your supply to your board. The infinity symbol is a permanent ability that is only active when the player is in a slot on the team board. An attack or defense icon with an arrow is to upgrade. Swap the relevant token from your player board with 1 from your supply of the next value up. This symbol on the Undertaker needs you to discard a champion you have in order to play this champion. Some champions have ability icons representing skills, and champion abilities may reference these skills. For example, Baby Orc gives you a -2 defense token for each champion with the green ability icon. This will include itself. Spend 3 to develop your scout. First flip bronze over to silver for the first time upgrading. Then the next time you upgrade, remove the token to upgrade to gold as shown on the board. As you know, you draw champion cards from the deck matching the colour of your scout token, so upgrading this will give you access to better champions. Upgrade your stadium. This costs 1 to 3 coins depending on the round as shown on the championship board under the current round number. Flip the token to upgrade from 4 to 5, then remove the token to upgrade it to 6. This will, of course, increase your income. Spend 1 to train your team. Upgrade 1 attack token or 2 defense tokens by 1 each. You can upgrade the same defense token twice. Spend 2 to learn new tactics. Gain an attack 1 or defense 2 token to your pool from your supply. When you're out of money, this phase will end for you. Money is not carried over, and any money you don't spend will be lost. Once everybody has spent all their money, this phase ends. In the match phase, each player's match tile will show which field they will play on this round. Players put all tokens from their board into the relevant coloured bag, including the 4 break tokens. Players select up to 4 champions and put 1 in each slot. Any extra goes on the side on the bench. A player shuffles the bag and draws a token, placing it on the start space of the field. If a break token is drawn, nothing happens. If a defence token is drawn, nothing happens for now. If an attack token is drawn, the player now checks if they have a chance to shoot. You check the attack value drawn minus any previously drawn opponent's defence. For example, here the player has 4 attack, but minus the opponent's 2 defence means the attack value is 2. If the attack value is 0 or less, the attack is blocked and all defence tokens from the defender are flipped face down. If the attack value is 1 or more, the player in the corresponding number slot on the team board will shoot. So using our example, as the attack value was 2, the champion in slot 2 will shoot. Apply any shooting effects shown with the die icon of the champion in that slot. For example, the players printed on the team board will lose 1 fame point when they shoot. When the bounty hunter shoots, you gain a +1 sponsor token. Roll 1 die plus any extra. For example, when the scape goblin shoots, you roll an extra die. If at least 1 die matches the value for that champion, which in our example is slot 2, so a 5 or a 6 is required, they score. Flip the attack token and any used defence tokens over to the scored side. Some abilities react to a goal being scored. For example, the scape goblin can be discarded to cancel a goal scored against you. If they don't roll the required number, they miss. Leave the token star side up and flip any used defence tokens face down and continue the match. Draw tokens until you cover the number equal to the current round. Then score the match. The player with the most goals wins. In the case of a draw, both players score 2 fame points. The winner gains fame according to their scout level plus the difference in goals. For example, if the scout level is bronze and they win 3-1, they will gain 3 fame for the scout level and 2 fame for the difference in goals. Empty the bag, return tokens to the player, return the bag and break tokens to the field board. When all matches are complete, you go back to phase 1, round setup, which we'll look at now. Players can discard any number of cards from their hand and draw back up to 3 cards from the relevant champion deck. Move the round token forward 1 space. After 6 rounds, players add up their fame in the 4 categories as shown on the back of the summary card. Add fame points from all fame tokens gained. Add fame points from endgame champions on champion cards in your team. For example, the bounty hunter will cost you 1 fame at the end of the game. Calculate your income and gain points shown on the team board for having 6+ income. Gain fame points according to your supporter card. For example, these 5 award 2 or 5 fame points for having 3 or 4 champions in your team with a relevant ability icon. And the 2 players with most game will go into the final match. Ties are broken by the player with the most champions, then the player with the most gold champions, then the player with the most silver champions, and finally, if it's still a tie, you do a roll off on a d6. In a 2-player game, if one player has 6 more fame than the other, they win instantly, otherwise you go to a final game. In the final game, there is no purchase phase, you play on any field, and you play to cover the round 6 number on the field. And the winner receives the golden cup. In the case of a tie, the game goes to penalties. Players can rearrange their team if required. Players take turns starting with the slot 4+ and both take a shot. If one player scores and the other doesn't, they win the golden cup. If both miss or both scores, then you go to slot 3, then slot 2, then slot 1, and then back around to slot 4+, and you do this until one team scores and the other doesn't, in which case they win the golden cup. Okay, let's look at changes to the game when playing with an odd number of players and adding a bot. Include the bot in the player count and give them a random match tile. Put a -1 defense and 4 attack automata tokens aside. Shuffle the rest, add 1 to the 2 put aside and put the rest on the spaces on the championship board. Return unused automata tokens to the box. When moving the round token, add the relevant automata token to the automata team. When playing a match against the automata, add their tokens to the bag as well as your own and the break tokens. Roll the die for the automata when shooting. If it matches the slot number, they score. The automata doesn't gain fame, put their tokens aside after a match. Okay, let's look at solo games. Set up for a 2-player game versus the automata that also gets a team board, choose a difficulty level. Amateur, set up as normal, scout tile on the bronze side. Pro, add a second automata token to space 5 on the round track, put the scout tile on the silver side. Legend, add a second automata token to spaces 3 and 5 of the round track, and the scout tile will be on the gold side. The automata doesn't use coins, champions or supporters, but they do gain fame. Score the game as if you're playing a 2-player game. And at the end of the 6 rounds, if a player has 6 more fame than the other, they win instantly. Otherwise, you go to the final game and the winner of that game will win the golden cup. And that's how you play the golden cup. Thanks for watching. Remember to like, share and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when a new video goes live. You can follow me on Insta, Twitch and YouTube at JestaThaRogue and find the blog at JestaThaRogue.com. I've been Rob aka JestaThaRogue and I'll see you soon.